Walk Across Texas by Brandon Lay. Coastal Plains. The coastal plains are located near the Gulf of Mexico. This is to the southeast of Texas. The climate of the coastal plains is home to many hot, humid summers with mild winters, averaging 55 inches of rain and no snow with the hot climate it is in Texas. Geographic features that are most notable in the coastal plains of Texas is the Gulf of Mexico. The Balcones Fall is high up there as a notable feature, and it has been inactive for 15 million years. Piney Woods is also known for its heavily forested areas, along with Galveston Island, from which most of the sand there is imported. The most exported resources would have to be the oil and gas industries. Travel some miles off of the coast of Texas and lots of oil rigs will appear. Surprisingly, the Brazos River would end up moving lots of sediments over to the banks of the river, making them great farming opportunities. Millions of geese, ducks, and songbirds call the coastal plains home. They make up lots of the air and make great prey to lots of the alligators in the coastal plains. Lots of ocean life is near the coastal plains, with crabs, sea turtles, and spoonbills calling the coast home. Some parts of the coastal plains will have different outcomes. On the shore, fishing, shrimping, and crabbing become big parts of the economy and a normal day on the beach. The rest of the coastal plains relies more on technological parts of the world to make a living. Tourist attractions of the coastal plains. Lots of the tourist attractions pop out, but one may shock you. Behold, cruises. Galveston and other areas are home to lots of cruise departures, and a good reason why some people may spend time here to come to the coastal plains. Another would have to be to see in hatchling race. This is when you watch baby sea turtles hatch and go out to sea. If you love walking, the River Walk in San Antonio would be a sure go-to spot. With restaurants and hotels beside the river and good music, it is a nice place to walk around and enjoy life. The third largest region is up next, the North Central Plains. The climate of this area is hot summers with mild winters. On average, there is 20 to 30 inches of rain and some snow. One thing you may find about the North Central Plains is that this is a heavily forested area. Tall grass is something you'd have to be used to in this area. Here you'd find many balcones, which is the cliffs known for their balcony-like look. You could also find the Caprock Escarpment to the west of the North Central Plains. The resources available in this area are cotton and wheat, which mostly come from the farming area of the North Central Plains. With cotton, this area can pump out lots of clothing. Oil is also one of the top resources found in this area. Most of the wildlife would come from mammals, birds, reptiles, and fish. Many deer, birds of prey, copperhead snakes, and black basses. These animals live in a cycle of eating each other, like how most things work. The economy of the North Central Plains is like the region's economies combined. Firstly, oil is a decent part of the economy in the North Central Plains. General agriculture and ranching is also one of the top things found in the economy of this area. Tourist attractions in the North Central Plains. Among other, Joyland Amusement Park in Lubbock seems to stand out. It is a popular amusement park and has lots of fun activities for you and your family to enjoy. The Palo Duro Canyon is for the people that love to explore. Over 20,000 acres of pure canyon in Palo Duro. One cool thing is that you could see some of the rare species that are only home to this area. The Law Enforcement Museum in the old Eastland County Jail has lots of cool history to discover. You can learn lots about the past ways of law enforcement here. Next up, the Great Plains. The Great Plains is the second biggest region there is in Texas and is smack dab in the middle, heading north of the state. The climate of the Great Plains is cold winters with mild summers. 15 inches to 25 inches of rain is average for this region. Geographic features that are most notable in the Great Plains of Texas are the absence of anything, just being a big grassland, as the name suggests. It's mostly flat and not much stuff, but they are known for very high elevations. The natural resources The natural resources of the Great Plains are petroleum and natural gases. These are abundant near Texas and taken from the ground. Lots of the minerals are also great natural resources offered here. The wildlife in the Great Plains is mostly livestock and the cattle they have there. As well as that, lots of animals have adapted to the heat in the Great Plains like bisons, prairie dogs, and prickly pear cactus. Some of the economic activities in the Great Plains of Texas is livestock and agriculture. These play big roles in the economy, and so do oil and gas, like every other region in Texas. Tourist attractions of the Great Plains. One tourist attraction is the Panhandle Plains Museum, which is the biggest in the state. It houses lots of historical items from Texas's past. Another popular attraction in this region is Amarillo's Don Harrington Discovery Center, which is like an interactive museum. It has lots of things that kids would enjoy, like kinetic weather machines and dinosaur exhibits. The Llano Estacado Museum is also a place lots of people like to go to. It offers detailed information on the natives that were once here in the 19th century Texas. Lastly, the mountains and basins. The climate here is hot summers with cool winters, only about 8 to 12 inches of rain. Many geographic features are in the mountains and basins area, just not many of them are water related. There are over 150 mountains and many canyons and basins and deserts make up this area. The named areas are the Pecos and Rio Grande rivers, which also divide Texas and Mexico. The natural resources in this area are many solid materials like sand and limestone. As typical Texas goes on, oil and gas is found in this area. Building materials like clay are also found here. The wildlife in the mountains and basins are mostly birds and mammals. You'll find many deer roaming the mountains and basins. Many birds are also here, like quail and turkeys, the ones that we can eat. Economic activity in this area has a lot to do with the agricultural side of the region. Cotton, fruits, oil, and gas are used for money in this area. Pecans are also a big pick for selling. Tourist attractions. The first tourist attraction is, of course, Big Bend National Park. There's many cool views and is great for explorers. People also like to go to the El Paso Zoo and see all of the wild animals that live there. It was cool to see some animals that are native to the El Paso area. The Pecos Rodeo is also one people enjoy going to too. The carnival and food is great for a family experience with all the attractions that a Texan would love. Cities. Starting in Corpus Christi, take the US 181 to get onto US 77 north, which would get you onto US 59, leading you to Houston, which is where we live. Take I-45, that will get you to Dallas, straight to Dallas. From Dallas, follow I-30 until you get to Fort Worth in the North Central Plains. Get onto US 287 north and take the exit for US 281 north / US 287 north to get you to Wichita Falls. At Wichita Falls, proceed to US 277 south to US 83 bus, which lands you in Abilene. To get to the Great Plains, get onto 120 west to I-20 west and US 84, which will take you to Lubbock, however you say that. From Lubbock, head on the I-27 to Amarillo. To get to the next city, you head down I-27 and exit to Texas 191, and you have arrived at Odessa. Get onto I-20, which will take you to Pecos, Texas. Going on US Highway 285 or 285, you should end up in Fort Stockton. From there, get on I-10, and that will lead you to the last location of the trip, El Paso. Thank you for watching my Walk Across Texas video.